Good morning, everyone. We are almost at Isafjordur, and it is such a beautiful day here. The sun is out. I don't think I've seen just a sunny day in Iceland. Like, it's been sunny, but with clouds, but today it's super sunny, and I thought I'd show you. So for our tour today, I slept and I lost on Vigor Island. We have one more chance to try and get it because they said if tickets don't come to our door, we can ask when we go down to the theater for our other excursion. So if we don't go to Vigor Island, we are doing fjords and flowers, and the only reason we're doing another tour is because I didn't realize how small the town of Isafjordur is. I was telling people on the previous cruise what we were going to do this time, and they were like, yeah, that will take you 1 or 2 hours, and we're here for 7 hours, so I wanted to use our time wisely. So we're going to Fjords and Flowers excursion, which we go to some little town, not Isafjordur, outside of Isafjordur, and then we go to like a botanical garden, and then we go inside a church and get to listen to a music program. That was actually what drew me to it. I just want to hear like Icelandic music because music is so different all over the world. And if you watched my previous video from Isafjordur, that sound of the music that I put in, that was actually our tour guide singing. So I thought it would be really neat to hear some Icelandic music again. So that's what we're doing today.
Be like that because there is so much space around. Yeah, there is the fjord and the mountains close by. The area for building houses in between is limited. Every place is used, and in addition, when we look to the right, above the houses, this building there with a green plantation, this is an avalanche protection wall, holding snow and water away from the houses so that they can even be built close to the mountain. Farmer living in the southern part of Önunda Fjord, the fjord that we will visit now. I've met him last in 2024, so less than a year ago. So that man is still living on his farm. And yeah, that time, middle of the 80s, he had the aim to sell some of his cows. So putting these cows in a trailer, driving all the way around the fjord to Flateyri. And there the cows were running free in the harbor area to be sold. One of these cows had even a name, Sion. Sion saw, oh, there, opposite side of the fjord, I'm home, and I would like to go home. So the cow decided to jump into the fjord and was swimming all the way 2.5 kilometers to the home area with the farm. Farmer, he was not so happy because one cow was missing, so he sold the other cows, returned home, and then he saw Sion standing on the beach waiting for him. And the man was so surprised and also impressed, so that he decided, I will not sell that cow. The cow can live, continue being on a farm. And Sion did for many years, died in high age, and then a farmer put it on the beach, and that place where it came to land, the burial place is still visible. Local people, as I said, they like that story, and for this reason, each summer in August, people are imitating it. In 2024, it was more than 30 people, mainly women, that jumped into the fjord, accompanied by the rescue team, swimming all the way to the southern part of the fjord. There was then afterwards a hot shower and a hot soup. This is the way that they show that they're impressed of science, the swimming cow. On the mountain, we see it. There are efforts done to enlarge this protection area. Snow breaker are built there. There was an avalanche.
My name is and I'm 15 years old, and today I'm going to sing 4 famous Icelandic folk songs for you. But first, I will tell you a little bit about myself. I have a few hobbies I like to do. I train basketball and football, and then I also take singing lessons and acting lessons as well. I just finished 10th grade in the end of May, so I'm on summer break now, but in a few weeks I'll go to school, and I'm starting a new school, the high school, and that's 3 years. But after that I plan to go to college, to Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland, and I really want to become an actress. The first song I'm going to sing today is called Ég veit þú kemur, which means I know you will come in English, and it was written in 1968, and it is about a woman that has a husband, and her husband lives very far away from her because he has work really far away from her, and one night she goes to sleep and dreams about him coming to her and them living a happy life. I hope you enjoy. Ég veit þú kemur í kvöld til mín, þó kveðjan væri stutt í gær. Ég trúi ekki á orðin þín, ef annað segja stjörnur tvær. The second song I'm going to sing is called Kvæðið fuglana, or the song about the birds, and it is very common to hear this song in a church. Snert hörpu mína himinborna dís, svo hlusti engla Guðs í paradís. Við götu mína fann ég fjallastrúð og festi á hans streng og rauðan skúf. The third song I'm going to sing is called Vikivaka, and it is often sung in the summertime because the song is about the seasons changing from winter to summer, and for Iceland not to be as cold anymore. I hope you enjoy. Sunnan yfir sæl heiða, sumarilinn vind að leiða, last song I'm going to sing for you today is one of the most popular Icelandic lullabies called Bíum Bíum Bambalo. And I've gotten a lot of questions. What does Bíum Bíum Bambalo mean? Because it sounds pretty weird, the sentence. But Bíum Bíum Bambalo it doesn't mean anything. The song is just a typical lullaby song about the nature in Iceland and making the baby fall asleep. Enjoy. Bíum Bíum Bambalo, Bambalo, og dilli dilli dó. Þinni mínum bagga ég ró og úti bíður andlit á glugga. Þegar fjöllin fimbulhá fylla brjóst þitt heitri þrá. Leika skal ég langspil á, það mun þinn hugann hugga. Bíum bíum bambalo, bambalo, og dilli dilli dó. Vini mínum bagga ég ró og úti bíður andlit á glugga.
Old snowbreaker. Few are already finished, and yeah, when this on the left side is done, then they will also start on the right side of that avalanche protection wall. And afterwards, people here will have a much better feeling in the winter time, because then the snow cannot reach the harbor anymore. And also this area is protected.
We have just finished the tour and now we are going to walk around the town of Isafjordur. Our first stop is the church. I think there's two, but we're just gonna go to one. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's the big yellow one. So the church is now closed, but our friends Mary and Ron were able to get inside, so I'll ask her if I can get any of her pictures. I am currently walking towards the observation deck. From the church, it's about an 8-minute walk. I'm not sure how high up I'm going to go, but I do want to get somewhat of a view. are slowly making our way back towards the ship. I would still like an Icelandic sweater that says Iceland on it, but I'm not paying $85 US. So if there aren't any here, like, it's not a big deal at all. And the people were right. You can do everything here in about an hour or two. So if you're fine with just walking around, that's fine. But if you would like to do something more with your time here, then I definitely recommend booking an excursion. I just went past the last clothing store with Iceland sweaters, and they only had XXL left, so obviously I wasn't getting that, and they were still 87 American dollars. So hopefully the ship has some, and if not, it's not a big deal that I don't get an Icelandic sweater. The food mustn't have come in Reykjavik because it looks like they're loading it now.
Yeah.
Bananas. And potatoes. Do you know what we have to do now? We have to say goodbye to Iceland. This is our last stop in Iceland. After we got back on the ship, I went to the Bliss Lounge. There was a Pictionary game happening. I just watched that. They kind of did it in small groups, different rounds. And then there was a yes or no challenge game. And they don't explain... Oh, we're leaving, I think. They don't explain how to play the game before you put your name in. So I put my name in, and then we find out the rules that you're not allowed to say yes or no. So I end up getting called. I think I was the second or third last one, where they're doing construction or something. And because I was on the back-to-back cruise, or currently am, he was like, if I remember correctly, you're a solo traveler. And I'm like, actually, I'm traveling with my dad. He's like, is your dad here? And I'm like, he went to go get something to eat. And then he asked about like the tour that we went on, and then we went to the bookstore like you saw, and then he asked if I really liked reading, and I was telling him that I have read 167 books and I post book reviews on YouTube. And then he asked about my job, and so I ended up going the full 2 minutes without saying yes or no, and I won a phone holder. And then there was this lady who also got called up, and she has been on 127 cruises in the past 4 years. So we had a nice conversation, and she was telling me about like how she does it and all the places she's been and all the cruises she has booked. And tonight we went for supper, and it was really interesting because I didn't leave this part out when I filmed it. Not about supper, but about seeing them load the potatoes. And I was gonna order mozzarella and cheese and potato soup for supper, for an appetizer. And the guy was like, well, now it's actually mozzarella cheese and broccoli soup. And it was so interesting because on our first cruise I didn't include this, but if they're short on something, they have to substitute it with something else. And we saw them loading the potatoes around like 2 o'clock, and so they obviously didn't have time to prepare them, so that was really neat. Just making the connection with that. And then we went to the show, and her name is Harriet. She's a singer. She lives in England. I think it's Harriet Robertson Crocken or something, and she was good. And now I'm gonna head to bed, and I will see you tomorrow for a sea day.